I need to get a like a starting reel for stream like because the other one, the other like intro was too much of a gimmick, and so I need to create one that's kind of more relaxed. But hello and good afternoon. It's turned noon, so it's afternoon. I hope you guys are doing well. It's Friday. Um, this stream was not the plans. I thought I was going to be playing Resident Evil. But things have changed. And I would try my hardest to be articulate throughout this as I talk. I can't promise you a perfect articulation, but I would try my hardest. When I get excited or just am myself, I just kind of slip into where I'm not really focusing on making sure people can understand me. So I'm trying to change that. I really, really am. It's just really hard. It can be done, it just takes a lot of work. It takes a lot out of me to focus on making sure that you guys can actually understand me. So but let me shout this stuff out. Let me tell people that we are definitely live. I was going to play Resident Evil. I still might later tonight. I don't know, depending on how I feel. Uh, but I will be playing that. I promise I will keep that going. So, but I just wanted to just motorcycles. They're so annoying. But I just wanted to just come on and just chill. Really. Maybe just chat because I have stuff I want to talk about. Write a little bit, and then what I want to do is when I go to end the stream, I'm going to be reading the first chapter of Coulson Phantom. I'll be reading directly from this. So, well, I guess I have two chapters that I could read. It's chapter 1 or chapter 9, which is engagement. So, because chapter 1 gets you involved in what's going on with Coulson and get you integrated into the story. Chapter 9 is the engagement. So it takes you out of the what's going on, the stress, and you just enjoy a nice moment with Kyra and Colston as they bump up their relationship. But I just figured I'd settle on chapter 1 and then maybe read chapter 9 at some other point. But I need to turn my voice down a little bit. There we go. That should be good. Since I'm not gaming, just listening to music low, it doesn't need to be that loud. But it was funny because I woke up in a I I have a very particular way I wake up in the morning, and like with everything on my phone, I have tones set so I know where it's coming from, and they're all mainly of one YouTuber. I have Jack, such guy as a lot of my different tones, And but waking up, I have a certain song that I like to wake up to, and it changes every now and again, but it is mainly from Caleb Hiles. And those songs change from like month to month, depending on what I want to listen to. And the song that I have set to wake me up in the morning is "No Longer You," and that didn't play this morning, and so it kind of threw me off. But it didn't throw me off enough to where it's like, well, my entire day is shot. But it just kind of, it's like, why did it not play that song? And so I'm like, well, hell, like do something new to kind of not be bothered by this. Let's do something else. And so I'm like, well, let's go live earlier and just chat. Um, I don't know. I does that happen to you guys? If you have a certain setup and it changes, does it throw you off? I know with me it does. Cause like uh, how is it? Like for streaming, I have to be prepared to stream, mentally prepared to stream, or like to watch a stream. Um, I like to be notified a couple hour before, or have a set schedule for when I watch a streamer stream, so I'm ready and have time for it, I guess. But I don't know. I like to be. I like spontaneous stuff to happen, but not all the time, because I have stuff that I'm always doing. So I don't know. It's weird. So, but I trying to get a segue to going into what I wanted to talk about, but I have no idea how to do that. Uh, yeah, there really is no way to do that. And I didn't want to start up the stream like that, but I guess I can go back to that because I didn't say it at the start. When I say hello, shadow players, um, shadow players played a big part in how I have built Dark Cold Laboratories and how I like my presence to be known online. Cause Shadow Players and Dark Cold is a very, you don't know what's really going on. It's the whole shadow kind of agency that you see, and I like that. I love to play that. That is so much fun for me. The mysterious company that is there, and you being shadow players, you guys are actively involved in a story that's being told, and so that's why I do that all the time before a stream or before a video. It's shadow players because you guys are actively involved in a story that's being told. Of course, it's building up. It's something that I've been working on in the background for some time, and I will be slowly integrated into everything I do. And the first part was the intro, and it'll slowly start to show more. But I have a name that I call you guys when I am online. My thing was, I'm like, I want to do something for my readers, and you could say, you know, because I like to talk to you guys before. Well, sometime before a book starts, but mostly after the book start ends, like a small debrief, I guess you could say. And I would tell stuff about what went on during the writing of it a little bit, because there's always a story behind the fiction story. There always is, and I love hearing that story. I love hearing what went on in the author's mind if they're creating that story, that world, what they went through, what they experienced, and stuff. And it's always fascinated me by that. And so, whenever I work on a story, I do keep in mind of how I am during the writing of that. And sometimes it does come out in the text. Hey, Shusha. And sometimes it comes out in the text. You could see it, but other times it's not there. But so I was when because I addressed you guys at the beginning of the book and then at the end of it, but I also add a little snippet before I switch over from or following the true ending to the alternate ending. I address you guys, setting you guys up for what's coming next. So you guys have the opportunity to not read that, which is completely fine. The true ending will always be the true ending for me. That's why I call it that, because that's the way the book wanted the ending, so that's the true. But with the alternate ending, that is mine, my ending for the book, because I no longer am fighting the book to write it. I can now implement my desired ending to it. So, but I do talk to you guys before I start that. And I was looking up, I'm like, what do I call you guys? Because I always start off by dear, and then I'll say, you know, reader or something like that. And there's always something about it when you go into a creator's realm that you feel that you're a part of that. You aren't just a viewer or a reader, that you are somehow a part of that realm that the creator creates. And that's why Shadow Players is something I use, because it's very relevant to how Dark Cult is and how it's technology based, because it's online and it's streaming or videos, so, and it's visual art. For me, writing is very archaic in a good way, but it's very, very old, and I love it because I enjoy the medieval time frame. I've always loved that, and that's why I love D&D. And the story following Coulson Phantom is going to be fantasy. So, in relation to that, I wanted to kind of what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the fucking word. I wanted to encompass that kind of feel in how I oh, that's fine. If you have stuff you're doing, that's great. I just enjoy you popping in. It means a lot to me. This stuff you can always go back and watch or anything, so it's fine. But I wanted to take that love for the old time, the medieval time, and use that. And so I spent about 2 hours trying to figure out how I would do that. And I came up, because I read a lot of Stephen King, and he calls his reader constant readers. So I'm like, what could I do to make it a lot more, when people open my books, they know that they are part of something they are part of something that's important to me. And so I came up with ink Patreons, going from the Patreon from like a tavern, and the Patreon, and then ink is, you know, the ink and quill. And so I put those two together and just made it ink Patreons. So whenever I address you in a book form, it's going to be that. And what I want to start doing is integrating that into video form, because I do a lot of text-based stuff. Yeah, my narrating skills, they are good, but I cannot form my voice to be the way I want it to be when I'm reading those words. And so I just have to let the text hopefully do that for me, and the music. And music is a huge part of everything I do. As you can tell, I'm not listening to like lo-fi music. This is artless and epidemic sound. Right now, that's what we're listening to. But I just lost my train of thought. That's also one thing, is I get so sidetracked by stuff. But with using the ink Patreons, it just encompasses that old type feel, and I love it. I absolutely love it, cause it's me. Because I love the positivity. I love being happy, but I also love the darker side. I love, as you can see, I dress in mainly black. That is just kind of my look, and I love horror, but that's the mystery of things. But it's always a good thing just to do step into the light sometime and say, ah, yes, bright light. But I try not to be, you know, a downer when stuff happens. I try to live in the positive, but be able to encompass my darker side when I write or create. 'Cause that's what I get the most fulfillment out of, is that. And so that's why all my books will kind of be for a more mature audience. um so yeah, depending on whether you're in fantasy or a reality like Coulson Phantom, it's kind of harking in our timeline. um there will always be a darker side to any form of writing that I do, just because I love doing that. That is so much fun for me. But it just, because when I write, I have a very particular style. I have a very, very particular style, which I didn't do much of in Coulson Phantom, but I do write backwards. Um, and it's really hard to explain, but I write backwards. But I also do like to jump into Old English a lot and just form sentences in that way. But I did let it slip in to the story a little bit, not very much. It was a perfect timing for it to slip in. It was in chapter 14, reminiscing, and it was a very calm night for them. They were just relaxing. Kyra, Coulson, and Jordan were all relaxing, and I let that kind of slip out when they're kind of in that mode. They have been playing Clue, and so they slip into the regal accents. And so I allow the Old English way of writing to kind of slip in. And I love doing that. But I didn't do it I didn't overdo it because it's not meant to be in this book. In the next book, yes, that will be something I won't overdo it to the extent that it is bothersome to read, because I do try to translate it in a way that it does translate well for people to understand. But I do have it to where I have a new form of writing that I'm doing, or not writing, but in language that I'm creating for this story. And I will have a glossary in the back so you guys can take full phrases and be able to translate them so you guys understand. But that's just how it is. It's a very old. The way that language is formed, it's a combination of two different languages put together, and then some would just made up words to just fit the bill. There's no construct to this one. So, but I am, oh my god, I am so looking forward to telling you. I'm pretty sure you guys know, because I have told you guys about it before I finished Coulson Phantom. I showed you little snippets of what I want to do afterwards. I don't think I told you the name of the story. I might have, but I don't think I have it in the video. I may have said it at one point, but I don't think I've written it down in a legitimate form. I think I just said it in passing one or two times, but nothing legitimate that you guys know that this is what we're doing. The thing is with Coulson Phantom, I'm not stuck at all writing it. It just takes me forever to write, and that's what's daunting, because it takes me forever to write, and I want it to be perfect. I don't want it to follow the same beats as the true ending. Something will be reiterated, but I want it to come at different times, so you are getting a different ending with the same information, maybe some new information, and so I'm trying to do it in that way so it's still a unique read. But when I'm working on Coulson Phantom, I think about the fantasy book, and so I want to go and play around with that. When I'm playing around with that, I think of Coulson Phantom. I don't know if it's because they are vying for attention and one is so close to being done, or what, or they just feed off each other. I don't know, but I do need to just focus on Coulson Phantom, get it done, and call it good. But then again, at the other point is I want to go out and dance, do those things, and it's always that's the thing that is the most bothersome. Is that everything is time consuming. I mean, that's life in general, and the mental calories that are being burned, it's exhausting. But it is so, when you are done with the final book or the final video, it is so fulfilling to see that come together. And I'm so looking forward to having Coulson Phantom out again in the complete entirely. And I'm so nervous about, oversharing it, because I'm not getting any traffic on Lulu, which I possibly understand. I am a new writer, I'm not known, I've been writing for a year, but I haven't published anything. Um, and this book is a very mature book. It's not rated for kids, and that's probably the people who did watch when they looked forward to reading it. It would probably a younger person, and I set it to where you have to be 18 and older to buy this book, and just to protect the readers. So, but most all of my books will be for mature audiences. That will definitely be one thing for certain. Mature audiences will be my reader base. Um, for violence, there's not a lot of cussing in this. It just violent. You're dealing with kidnapping, and the ending gets violent at the climax. But I mean, you're dealing with kidnapping. You kind of have to be violent, but it. I try not to make it simplest. I try to make it meaningful and not to have violence, just to have it. So, um, because it wouldn't make sense. So, um, so what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to switch over to. Well, hold on. I need to do this in a different. I need to prepare this. Hold on, because I have my story open and I don't want people to see the text. So I'm going to fix it right now. Hopefully it won't mess up anything. It shouldn't, but who knows. And I think this bit is going to get copyrighted because I'm going to turn on Caleb and listen to him. Just because I can't not listen to I cannot write this story not listen to Caleb, so I'm hiding stuff so you guys can't see. Go. Now we just gotta do this, I hope. And this is what's difficult is I have to do this. I mean, it's not difficult, just annoying, but I'm not gonna say we're in the writing room. I'm not gonna do that. We're just gonna be this. No, stop that. Um, Definitely. Oh, I just have that. Alright. So you can see the what I'm doing here, writing, so everything is, but right now I am in chapter 23, the first chapter within the new ending. I am 3,000 word into it, which is kind of long, so I have to find a way to split it up pretty soon. So I'm trying to figure out where I would split it because, yeah. So, but what I'm gonna do is I'm going to turn on or open YouTube. I will do this minimal. Hold on. I'm going to say writing now. I know I'm probably all over the place for talking. You guys probably can't have no idea um what I'm talking about. You know, just all over the place. But hopefully, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm always trying to make excuses for where my mind goes and how I work, but it's like it's just me. That's just how I am. And so we're gonna pause this and I have to be extremely careful with this because some of the music gets the stuff completely blocked. I don't mind if it get copyrighted. That's fine. I understand that it's going to get copyrighted, but blocking it kind of upsets me. So, um, I have been listening to one section or one part, and it just like hold on. Let me get down to it. It's no, that's not it. Where is it? It's just 5 songs. That's what kind of been driving me through this, and I think I'll add a couple more to this just to break up the monotony because I know listening to just songs on repeat, some people don't care for that, which I understand completely. So so we're going to add Lately It's 30 to be in there because that is kind of the theme song for this one. Let Me Through and Just Look My Way are kind of the theme songs for this. Where is it? I also have Green Day Melody because that's just a good one. Green Day Melody, and then I think Hell on Your Doorstep will also be fun. And then I need this. All right. So we have. Oh wait, I need one other song, of course. This one is important to have on there. Tell Your Heart to Stop Beating Again. This one is so good. I love this one. So that one would be good to have on board. Okay. So we have that. And this playlist that I'm listening to is private. So but most of these songs are in the actual Coulson Phantom playlist. This is just a shorter version of song that I really want to hear. And so, yeah. So I think that is good on that port. On that port. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. Maybe not much. And then I will shuffle this. Perfect starting point. It starts out with Let Me Through. That couldn't be better. Because this is this and Just Like My Way are the theme songs for Coulson Phantom. No Longer You is the theme song for the new book that I'm going to reveal to you guys soon, so. But I need to turn this up so I can hear.
Waiting for my curtain call before I storm right through the hall. Knock, knock, who's there? Are you prepared to finally meet
Cool.
your doom? Why do you close the door?
Okay.
Come to me with open.
I have to be extremely careful because words are directly behind this, so I have to be extremely careful so you guys can't see anything.
I mean no.
I absolutely love this. This is fun. So let me change that. There we go. So I could just stay chatting, but I don't want to. I could chat as I write, which I will. But also, it's one of those things where I'm just listening to music and writing.
This is what I have to say. Your presence here fills me with
Also, make sure you guys can hear me.
extent of my career.
Okay.
I don't know why you even try to sing me your tired lullaby.
I'm sorry, I slip into singing when I'm just in the zone, so I do apologize. But that's just me.
Why do you
Um,
close the door? Come to me.
okay, I need to get back into. Okay, there we go.
There's so much we need to explore. I mean, no harm. I sing my
Okay.
song all night long.
So I want to start strong. Here you guys can see as I write. It'll come up here, and that's what I like about it. You guys can see it. So I want to start strong because I have the scene I want to do. I just have to just do it. And starting it is always the hardest. But once you start it, once you break through that barrier, you just go. And you're gone. So oops. Now, but the thing is, do I want to continue in the doctor point of view or go to Cairo? Oh, goodness. And on chat blocks, that's not what I wanted. Changing my mind on where I want to go from here. I think this is where I stop because there's so many ways to go. I think I just gotta pick one and go and then see where it takes me. If it doesn't go far, I'll change it. There we go. So I have to prompt something. I have to... I can't say what I'm prompting because... But I have to prompt something that instilled panic, so... The fuck was that? Oh, weird. I love how the music just kind of goes with what I want to hear. I love it. I used to... I don't know what it was, but I had an iPod growing up, and I had it throughout high school and then years after high school. And it was my best friend, and I had about 150 songs on there, and they were mainly Michael Crawford. Yeah, they were working on my fantasy book, and Michael was the voice of that one, much like Caleb is the voice for this one. And I had 100, well over 150 songs on there on random and just on repeat. And there were particular times where when I hear Phantom of the Opera, the theme song, I wanted to hear music of the night right afterwards. And so there were times where I had been able to get it to play, so it would play right afterward, and then we jumped to a completely different album. But it's really cool when like your electronic syncs up with you and can kind of like feel your energy. It's really cool. I've done that multiple times, so
to make these feelings true. What's left for me in my broken heart if I could not have you?
felt like something fell.
Unless it's me, and no matter what in this world I could give, it's not enough to break through the walls you've conjured up to live. Is this what you feel? Scorned by a realm that cannot comprehend what you are. So I'll grant you this mercy, this bite on our souls needs to end. I will try to make amends for making you means to an end. So look my way, please look my way. If there's something more that I don't know, I'll save us both before we grow cold. If you'll stay, just say, look my way.
But I don't think it's on random. Or no, it just happened to be playing right after one another. That's okay. Okay.
Like you've never been before. The life you
Okay.
knew in 1,000 pieces on the floor, and words fall short in times like these, when this world drives you to your knees. You think you're never gonna get back to the you used to be. Tell your heart to beat again. Close your eyes and breathe it in. Let the shadows
No,
fall
okay.
away. Step into the light of grace. Yesterday's a closing door.
Okay.
You don't leave there anymore.
When I get going too fast, my software kind of freezes on me, and so I have to be careful. That doesn't crash on me. Yeah, when I get document this big, it does slow it down a little bit. Like especially closing it out and opening it, it's very slow. Well, not very slow, but it definitely slower than a newer document or a newer story that I'm opening. So
Leave the darkness, feel the sun. 'Cause your story's far from over, and your journey's just begun. Tell your heart to beat again. Close your eyes and breathe it in. Let the shadows fall away. Step into the light of grace. Yesterday's a closing door. You don't leave there anymore. Say goodbye to where you've been.
No. Stop. Oh. What, what?
Every scar be a picture that reminds you who has carried you this far. 'Cause
It's
love's
a picture of my.
deeper than you ever could. In this moment, heaven's working
Procrastinating myself.
for your good. Tell your heart to beat again. Close your eyes and breathe it in. Let the shadows fall away. Step into the light of grace. Yesterday's a closing door. You don't leave there anymore. Say goodbye to where you've been. Tell your heart to beat again. Your heart to beat again. Beat again. I am the prophet with the answers you seek. Time, I've unlocked it. I see past and future running free. There is a world where I help you get home. But that's not a world I know. What? I see a song of past romance. I see the sacrifice of man. I see portrayals of betrayal and a brother's final stand. I see you on the brink of death. I see you draw your final breath. I see you.
And then it's so hard when I listen to the song 'cause it's so good, but it also sparks the other story, and so it's like, oh god.
We've suffered and sailed through the toughest of fails. Now you tell us our efforts for nothing. I see your palace covered in red. Faces of men who had long believed you're dead. I see your wife with a man who is haunting, a man with a trail of bodies. I see a song of past romance. I see the sacrifice of man. I see portrayals of betrayal and a promise final stand. I see you on the brink of death. I see you
It's a good song.
your final breath. I see a man who gets to make it home alive, but it's no longer The world is a place where the villains wear a smile on their face, while they take what you can never replace. Stolen moments gone forever. The tables can turn, as my enemies will soon enough learn. I will strike a match and then watch them burn.
This is something that just is commented. I just
You run till you drop, chasing an advantage.
because I'm watching it as well, I can see it very visually, and so trying to put that into words and also in that direction I want to go is what makes it so, what makes writing for me so long, because I am visually watching it. Because I'm there in that room with the character listening as they talk. And sometimes it's a blessing, sometimes it's not. Okay, so hello DJ Teen, how are you doing? Why can't I get this word right? Oh. And to explain this song is this one I cut from Poison because I love these note holds, and so I cut them out and have them on repeat because they tickle my mind in a way that just so I need to have a section where it was just that, and so. Yeah, it's just the note holds that just, they hit something perfectly with me. There's, like with music, people, the singer hits certain notes that I just listen on repeat. And this is one of them. I had one in, Lithium by Evanescence. She does that. I have several from in Caleb music. I have a section where I have a piece that I have just taken sections from music and cut just part that I like, just so I can listen to them in order. So. I got tracked of what I was doing. Looking anymore. And I know that this is not something that many people do online where they just sit and don't talk, they're just doing something. But this is me to a T. This is what I absolutely love to do. And I'm hoping that people get, like inspired to do something they love to do. Not necessarily do it live so people can see it, but just go out and do what they want to do. Cause it's, oh, I kicked the camera. Oops, my bad. My foot slipped. Because it's creation in reckless abandon, where you don't care what other people think or what other people do. This is you. This is me. I am carving a little place out of the internet for me to exist. And if people come in, that's cool. That is so cool. And people can come and go if they please. But it's just a place for me to own. This is and share stuff I love, and music is a big portion of that. And yes, I could listen to music that we were listening to that was free, but when I'm writing, I don't listen to that music. This is what I listen to when I write. And so I showcase it. And anyway, it gets more eyes on people that I also enjoy. So Caleb, it gets more eyes on his music as well. If people come in and are curious at what I'm listening to, it's Caleb. And so uh,
Starry nights, city lights coming down over me.
and it's funny because
Skyscrapers,
there's so many different
in my head.
singers out there and artists, and I like several, but they're just voices that I just love, and I just can't help but listen to them all the time. And I remember when I discovered Caleb, I discovered him from Melinda Kathleen Reese from the Google Translate sings, and I had heard a couple of his music of him singing with Melinda, and the one that got me hooked on him was I Can't Wait to Be King. There was a portion that he sang that caught my attention. And it was the way he held the note when he said, I can't wait to be king at one point, and it just caught my attention. And then I went and started listening to him. And then it would just, he just became just a a presence, a singer presence in my life after that. And there are a couple people where I jump back and forth, but there's singers that stay constant, and Caleb is one of them. His voice just melds with what I'd like to hear. So it's a gentle voice. So and of course, not to mention, he is the reason behind this story. Because you can't find the fast fiction anywhere. I got rid of it. It's you cannot find the fast fiction anywhere unless somebody saved it. But the fan fiction no longer out there for people to see. But you can still go on my channel and see the trailer for The Return and for Caleb Phantom. You can still see those, and they're still up because they do showcase a story in of itself. And so I do not hide that, but when I translated it from Caleb to Colston, the only thing that translated was when Colston sings, it's Caleb. Everything else about Colston is a mixture of many different people that I know. And so I've always said that Colston is an amalgamation of different people that I know, but when he sings, it's Caleb. When he is, most of his thought process, a lot of his thought process is mine. And so, and also because when I chose the name Colston for him, Colston was not the first name I wanted to change it to. It was just a name I wanted for myself. But unfortunately I couldn't change it at the time because I had just got my name changed. And so I gave it to Driscoll so I could at least write it. So in that regard of what I want, of how I want the name to be mine, I kind of just put some of myself into that. So there's a lot of different moving portions to it that makes Colston Driscoll who he is, and yeah. Yeah, because there's 4 different people I see in the mixture of Colston, of just how he looks, how he acts. It's a combination of 4 people. So yeah, but it's interesting how characters come together. It's always fascinating to me.
Take away the sensation inside. Bittersweet migraine in my head. It's like a throbbing toothache of the mind. And I I can't take this feeling anymore. Drain the pressure from the swelling. The sensation's overwhelming. Give me a long kiss goodnight and everything will be alright. Tell me that I won't feel a thing. So give me Novocaine. Out of body and out of mind. Kiss the demons out of my dreams. I get the funny feeling that's alright.
I can spell.
It's better than here. I'll tell you why. Drain the pressure from the swelling. The sensation's overwhelming. Give me a long kiss goodnight and everything will be alright. Tell me that I won't feel a thing. So give me Novocaine. Oh, Novocaine. Drain the pressure from the swelling. The sensation's overwhelming. Give me a long kiss goodnight and everything will be alright. Tell me, Jimmy, I won't feel a thing. So give me Novocaine. Give me Nova.
Hey, how's it going? I've been great. But yeah, I have to remember what time it is. Fuck. Um. Yes. I'll figure that out when I'm in the editing process, I guess. But I forgot. I think that's one of the hardest part of keeping track of time and stories. Especially when I'm not, directly relating the time frame that stuff happens, so. But, yeah. So, let's see here. I'll be back before the dawn. I'm trying not to read because I know they'll give stuff away, and I don't want to do that.
You will be scared and not prepared for what I have in store for you. I'm waiting for my curtain call before I storm right through the hall. Knock, knock,
And like I said, I don't
meet your doom.
I don't put it out nearly enough because I don't know how to, and I don't know in what way would drive people towards it. But the book is still available, even though I am working on an alternate ending. This is for when I put it on Amazon. It's available on Lulu, but I know Lulu is a very not recognizable site, and I think Amazon will be a much more trusted place for me to put the book, and so I don't mind re-putting it out there, but I just don't want to. I mean, I could just do the book as it is, but I also want to add something new to it. Because it went out, and it's like I had this inkling to do the alternate ending, and so I'm like, well, fuck it. If I'm going to have to put it out on Amazon and re-upload the entire thing, then I'm gonna redo the cover, so it's a lot more, so you can see it a lot better, as opposed to how it is now. It's very, very hard to see, unless it's in the light, because the Phantom is very, very much a shadow, as opposed to what you see on screen beside me. It doesn't translate to print very well, so I'm going to be changing that to make sure it does. But the cover won't change because it's just how it needs to be. It's a mysterious book, and that's just how I have it set up, that I can't bring myself to change it. So I would just make it to where it's a lot more, you can see it a lot better and stuff. So, but put it on Amazon. I want to say it's out, it is completely done. You have all the moving parts of this book. It's all there for you to read. You can make of it what you will. But I knew that I did want to do an alternate ending. I just didn't know when I would do it. I didn't expect to do it this soon, but that's just how it had to be. But yeah. But the book, yeah. So I'm just gonna stop right there for right now. I'll just stop while I'm ahead. How long is? No, not what I want to. I don't want to do that. I wanted to. I found my brain fart how my computer works. Hold on. Where the fuck do I do that? Shit. Oh, never mind. I remember how. Duh. Okay. Okay, so where I'm at now for words is kind of in the ballpark of where I kept the words. The longest one I have is chapter 15 and chapter 19 are very, very close to being 5,800 words. But the longest is chapter 19. That's the climax of the book. So 3,000 is in a good ballpark realm. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to close all this stuff up so nothing is spilled. So there's no stuff that is spilled. Oops. No, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Keep it there. Stop it. Stuff moving. So I think we have ended chapter 23. I feel that's a good ending. I just have no idea where I'm going from here. Or at least for the chapter name at least. Whoops. Okay, 24. Yeah, I've read a lot of books, and I really enjoyed the ones that actually when they have names to the chapters, could you kind of know what you're set up for, and well, for me, I guess it makes sense for as a writer because I know where to end, or where to start and to end the chapter, of what the chapter needs to contain. And so that's kind of my thing. I don't like to just have it chapter 1, chapter 2, and then just have it that you don't know where you're going. So, I mean, some people like that, and sometimes it suits people to do that, to read like that or write like that. So, more power to you. I love it. But for me, I prefer the actual title chapters pertain to kind of what you're going to see in the chapter. And then also something that's very unique about this book that many people will not catch on to is because even within the title Me to an End, it gives away something. That title right there gives away something. And that's what I love about it, is when I'm writing, the story develops itself. It just because I know what I would like to see, because I set things up, I have stuff happen in where they should be, where I think they should be anyway. But
unless it's me, and no matter what
when
in this world I could give,
I am
it's
writing,
not enough.
there's always something that has a double meaning to it,
Conjured up to live,
and that's the title.
scorned by a
The title has a double meaning,
cannot comprehend
and
what you are.
it's so fun because I like watching that mystery unfold if people see it, but I don't think people will.
I will try to make amends for making you
Because
to an end. So look my way, please look my way.
I'm kind of going off a little bit, but
I'll save us both before we grow cold if you'll stay.
because alternate endings, when you think of alternate endings, you think of like right after the climax, right, like during the cleanup is when when you can alter stuff. Mine takes place in the middle of the climax, right at the climax, where the chapters split. And so I do have a few things that do mirror each other, because they are so close. Because it's the ending, but I do try to write it in a way that it is somewhat different, just to make it an alternate ending. But it does entirely branch off of that. But unbeknownst to me, when I wrote this, I wrote a section where we are in Coulson's mind, and we're in his mind a lot, where we're fighting with that cage, trying to get it open, to get his to help him feel whole again. Because he locked his core self away during his kidnapping to protect the core of who he was. His joy, his happiness, his warmth. He locked that away, so it wouldn't be all tainted by the Phantom. But within those 5 years, he had not been able to open that cage, and it was driving him insane. And so, with where the story picks up is him searching for that final closure. And so I make it very prevalent that is very much a big part of the plot. We're trying to get that cage in his mind open, and he's trying to figure out what is keeping him from opening it. And there's a lot of parts to it, but I had a brief little snippet of his mental struggle at the end with that cage. I had a very, very brief moment, but then I went back and wrote it kind of very thicker and very more in depth, where we're fully in there. It's not me telling you. You get to see what's going on. You get to feel it. And so, and just that change helped me with the ability to do this alternate ending. Because it's subtle, it's very, very subtle change that allowed me to do the switch in the ending. Because I didn't want to do a big, like, something that draw you from the story. that draw you from what has already been happening and stuff. And so I wanted to do it in a way that didn't take you out from that, or like, hey, this doesn't really belong. Like, I didn't want to reach to make this ending work. I knew there was a way that I could do it, I just didn't know how to, and I had written it without even knowing it, so it was fun. I love doing that. I love when books write themselves, they answer themselves. It's so fun. But it's funny because the chapter, I should be writing, but I can't help but not talk about this. This is so, I love it. It's so funny because when I was, well, let me switch over to here. Oh yeah, I forgot it does that. It doesn't do. You on the brink of... I can't remember how to do that. I really wish I did. Well, god damn it. Okay, so I can't do it on this one. I can do it on the other one. Here we go. Let me get over here and do it. See, when I was doing the first run through of this, when I was doing it live, and when I said that I would write in the climax, that the climax was the shortest chapter at the time. I think it, oh, hold on, I have it here, but you guys can see it, so I'm not going to open that. I don't want to open, give anything away. But during the first run through, the climax was the shortest chapter in the book. I think it barely hit 2,000 words. It barely hit 2,000 words. And now it's 5,735 words. It's the longest chapter in the book. I'm looking to make sure that it's the longest chapter in the book. As of right now. Of course, I haven't written the other chapter, but I think that chapter 19 will stay the longest chapter as the climax. But it went through 2 different iterations of writing. And I want to talk about that. Because that made it so much more... For what happens, it made it so much more intense and something that made sense. So, I don't know how to describe it, but I know what scene I need to work toward. I just can't figure out how to get there. That's what's hard. I'm not sure how to get to there, because it's a... Because when I'm not writing, when I can't figure it out writing, I will go out and walk. And I will plan that in my head. I will talk about it, and I will have the entire thing scripted in my head. But when it comes to writing it, it doesn't work. Because I can't start it correctly. I can never get into that to where I can easily put it in there. But it's only one thing where I just have to start and then let it flow, and then I always go back and change it to make it flow better. So, but yeah. So oh, okay. It's starting to come now. It's starting to build up. No, come on. Why did you change? I didn't do it in the other one, did it? No. Alright. I have my stuff set up to where it's a similar setting for when I start new like a new page. The stuff I write in is corner new. It's like typewriting text, and it's font size 12, and with no like space in between it. 0.1 or 1 point, and it changed to 1.5. That what threw me off. So like, no, I don't like it. But oops.
my virtue I am justly proud. Beata Maria, you know I'm so much purer than the common, vulgar, weak, licentious crowd. Then tell me, Maria, why I see her dancing there, why her smoldering eyes still scorch my soul. I see her, I feel her, the sun caught in her raven hair is blazing in me out of all control. Like fire, hellfire, this fire in my skin, this burning desire is turning me to...
I'm sorry, I am also very, very tired.
It's not my fault. I'm not to blame. It is the gypsy girl, the witch.
I had a long day yesterday and I still
It's not
haven't
my fault.
recovered. I don't sleep very good.
He made the devil so much stronger than
So I am very, very tired, but
protect me.
I have to keep
Don't let this
being
fire
productive, and sleeping, napping is not what I want to do.
destroy Esmeralda and let her taste the fires of hell, or else let her be mine and mine alone. Hellfire, dark fire.
And I'm writing my character falling asleep, and it's like, no, stop it. I can feel my getting heavy, it's like,
Your pyre, be mine or you will burn. God have mercy on her. God have mercy on me. But she will be mine, or she will burn. Starry nights, city lights coming down over me. Skyscrapers and stargazers in my head. Are we are the waiting unknown. This dirty town was burning down in my dreams. Lost and found, city bound in my dreams. And screaming, are we are
yeah.
the waiting. And screaming, are we are the waiting unknown. Forget me nots and second thoughts live in isolation. Heads or tails and fairy tales in my mind. Are we are the waiting unknown. The rage and
There it is. I just had it. I just saw it. Where'd it go? There it is.
the Jesus of suburbia is a lie. And screaming, are we are the waiting. And screaming, are we are the waiting unknown. Are we are the waiting. Jimmy's coming down across the alleyway, up on the boulevard like a zip gun on parade. Light of a silhouette, he's insubordinate, coming at you on the count of 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. My name is Jimmy and you better not wear it out. Suicide commando that your mama talked about. King of the 40 thieves, I'm here to represent that needle in the vein of the establishment. I'm the patron saint of the denial, with an angel face and a taste for suicidal. Cigarettes and ramen and a little bag of dope. I am the son of a bitch and Edgar Allan Poe, raised in the city in a hell of lies, product of war and fear that we've been victimized. I'm the patron saint of the denial, with an angel face and a taste for suicidal. Are you talking to me? I'll give you something to cry about.
What?
Say Jimmy. My name is Saint Jimmy, I'm a son of a god. I am the one that's from the world side now. Teenage assassin executed somebody in the cold of a life of crime now. I really hate to say it, but I told you so. So shut your mouth before I shoot you down, oh boy. Welcome to the club and give me some blood. I am the resident leader of the lost and found. It's comedy and tragedy. It's Saint Jimmy, and that's my name. And don't wear it out.
You say where I go
Take
from here.
away the sensation inside. Bittersweet migraine in my head. It's like a throbbing toothache of the mind. And I can't take this feeling anymore.
It makes sense in my mind when I'm seeing it, but translating to words so people can be able to translate and be able to see what I'm seeing is difficult.
Give me a long kiss goodnight and everything will be alright. Tell me that I won't feel a thing, so give me Novocaine.
But I think I need to read because I am
Out of body and out of mind. Kiss the
if anything I'll probably fall asleep. No, I don't want to. I keep going, but I just
funny feeling that's alright.
I need to go take like an hour power nap. Yeah, this sucks bad. So what I'm going to do is
The sensation's overwhelming.
I haven't started because I know where I could work on the transition there, and we'll just read. Let me jump back to this. Not very much different, but I pause that. Oh boy, okay. Reading. So I will be reading chapter 1. And also, the wall of text that precedes chapter 1 is, and these are important. You see these 3 times throughout the story. And they one says, means to an end, to satiate the demon, to silence the seething storm within. And it repeats over and over again for the entire page, and that precedes the chapter 1. This is just something I do, even though I wrote this. I do this regardless. So I'm going to do something. I don't want to push anything. I also want to be able to see. Also make sure I'm not on anything, so I don't click on anything, because I'm rushing on my keyboard. I want to be able to hear me. In the small hours of the morning on Sunday, March 1st, 2020, there are two uncertainties that linger. One is the global pandemic, rotavirus a very communicable virus that targets muscle function and threatens to put the world in lockdown. The other is the ticking time bomb that is Colson Driscoll's trauma, taking form of nightmares and flashbacks, which he is defenseless against. They leave him in a state of unsteadiness. Coulson is losing his strength, to fight. Coulson, honey, come back to me. Kyra shouts as Coulson thrashes beside her in bed. Coulson moved like he is trying to escape from someone on top of him. Damn it, let me go. His body stills once her voice breaks through the nightmare, taking a deep breath before gently opening his eyes. At the sight of his wife's face, a wave of calm washed over Coulson's mind. Yet seeing the shine of tears in her wide brown eyes depresses him. He raised the shaky hand to caress Kyra's cheek. I am sorry, Coulson says. This is a phrase as empty as a water skin in the desert. As genuine as he means it, this phrase has become nothing more than a bandage for the last 5 years. Kyra leaned into the hand and said, "Shh, don't apologize." Her voice is soft and caring. Trauma will always... She pauses for a moment, thinking. She puts her finger up in air quotes. Attack, if you will. The thing is not let it take control. She lays her head on his chest. His heartbeat helps her stay strong for him. Coulson stared at the ceiling, feeling the light, warm breath across his chest. It's been 5 years, Coulson said aloud, annoyed with himself. The years of therapy had left him lost, grasping for relief. His singing and support from Kyra and Jordan had given him traction in this ongoing battle. Though he had never told it to anyone, he felt as though he is still trapped in that bathroom. He might have escaped with his life, but a large portion remained locked in that cell, meant to protect what he held dear during the ordeal. To this day, within his dreams, he pounded on the cell, longing to feel complete once again. Kyra looked at him and said, "It could have been 6 months or 10 years. Trauma never really leaves." Kyra trying to remind him that it is okay to be scared at points. He is human. "Do you need to talk to your therapist? This is normal after a nightmare." Coulson gently sits up, pulling away from Kyra. As he gets out of bed. No, I need something else." Coulson says this heavily, staring at the floor. Kyra climbed out of bed and stands with him. "Coulson?" she asked gently. In the last year of dreams, Kyra was aware of a very scary shift in the effect on Coulson. In the 4 years prior, Coulson would turn the nightmare into driving points to overcome the heaviness that would fall on him. However, recently, they've been wearing him down, leaving him distant for 2 days or longer. He hardly eats, and the fear is so clear in his eyes. Kyra can't reach him at these times, and it terrified her. But when he bounces back, he is strong, happy, and driven. So she doesn't talk about those days, following his example, and hides fear, waiting to add to the pile with the next nightmare and lingering days. Coulson sighs, still not making eye contact. "I want to go back to the house." Kyra grasped and gripped his hands. "Why?" Though he is in front of her, her hands are touching him. Her mind vividly remembers those days of him being gone, and then being the one to find him. Coulson had always loved to go above and beyond for making content for a channel. She was always privy to such plans, but that year she wasn't. Having left to get stuff for her birthday the following day, she expected him to still be singing or editing, but found a note on the kitchen table. "Kyra, please don't worry. I have been scheming to make Coulson's creepy covers one of the best. I am perfectly fine and have a great team. I will return to you once it had run its course. Love, Coulson." Kyra had believed what the note said, even watched the upload later that day, and saw the real fear in his eyes when the rag covered his mouth. It didn't settle, but she let it be, reminding herself that Coulson was acting to convey the fear of being kidnapped. It wasn't until the following day, his birthday, when there was nothing from him. The last sentence of the note seemed to taunt her. She didn't want to overreact, but when the ineffective upload appeared the next day, she couldn't help but cry. His voice would not The voice was not his, and seeing his hands bound, her heart cried out for him. She didn't listen to the whole song, and still hadn't to this day. 10 days went by, and Kyra had only 2 uploads to convince her that he was committing to the act. She had just wished that he told her. Yet there was a little part of her that was telling her that something was not right. He would have contacted her regardless of keeping the act going. It wasn't until Jordan Youngblood, a fellow singer and friend, reached out on day 9 following the second upload. Her phone rang, and without looking at the caller ID, she answered it, hoping to hear Colson's voice. Hi, Kyra. Tell your guy to unsilence his phone. I must tell him that the new upload gave me chills. Kyra couldn't hold it together. I'm not with him. Jordan, I'm scared. Whoa, what do you mean you're scared? Jordan asked, his panic setting in his voice. I haven't heard from Colson in 9 days. She was crying. Please tell me I'm overreacting. There was a pause, and in that pause, Kyra was convinced that something was very, very wrong. Kyra, if you don't hear from him personally in the next 24 hours, you need to call the police. I will be there about 11 tomorrow, Jordan said. Can't I call now? What happened in today's upload? Kyra, either Colson had been taking acting classes, or he had legitimately singing for his life. Also, the fact you haven't heard from him is alarming, Jordan explained. You can call the cops if you want. You have every right to. I'll see you tomorrow. Kyra sat in silence. She dialed 911 several times throughout the day and night, never completing the call, always convincing herself that she was overreacting. Her emotions were just running on overdrive because she was left in the dark about what Colson was doing. She passed out on the couch at 1 in the morning on the 10th day, waking up at 5 with a headache and stuffy nose. She went about making coffee and eating some dry cereal, all the while staring at her phone, waiting for the call and watching the time tick toward Jordan's arrival. Idly picking at the faithless cereal and sipping the coffee until a call came through at about 9. At about 9. The number was unknown. Normally she wouldn't answer those calls. What if it was Colson calling from it? She answered, hello? The only thing that came across the line was ragged breathing, then followed by crying, then Kyra, it's me. The voice that came across was not Colson's voice. The voice belonged to a person struggling to keep the breath flowing through his body. Colson has sung yesterday, the day before. He was with a team, right? He was just running. Colson cared for his ability to sing like it was his child. Colson? Kyra asked with shakiness in her voice. Yes, it's me. I was kidnapped. What you've seen is not, it was not an act, Colson said, very much struggling. Where are you? Kyra asked. I'm in a van on the side of a remote mountainside north of a coffee fit cut him off. Panic swept through Kyra's body as she listened to the chesty cough that left him gasping for air. I am coming. Please stay on the phone, she begged, grabbing her key off the counter and racing out the door. Kyra, I love... Colson faded into unconsciousness. Kyra halted halfway to the car, hearing the forced breathlessness of his words, and heard the phone drop. Colson, I love you too. Please, hang on. Kyra cried out. She got herself moving again. Why didn't she trust her gut? She knew something was odd. She screamed at herself as she followed Colson's vague directions. After calling the cops, she was informed that there was an ambulance, two units already dispatched to the area. She then called Jordan. Jordan. The moment she heard Jordan answer, he was kidnapped. What? Did he escape? He called me. He didn't sound good. And he lost consciousness. I am on my way to where he said he was. Please be careful. Kyra wanted to sob and was trying to drive the speed limit. Jordan, she sounded desperate. He's strong, he said. Kyra, focus on driving. Call me once you've found him. I will. Kyra hanged up and took deep breaths. Kyra was on the 4-lane highway and wondering which of the multiple turnoffs into the forest was the right one. She noticed a thick column of smoke rising above the trees. The 49th turnoff, heading toward the Mirage Gap. Turning toward the 2-lane highway, she really disliked the lack of sirens. She gripped the wheel and her heart skipped a beat at every bend. Kyra was hoping she wouldn't be the one to discover Colston. She thought it ironic because she fought against the truth. Or she fought against her gut, the truth. 2 miles along the road, the smoke became much more prevalent. Rounding one bend, she spotted a white van on the side of the road, pointing toward town. Oh my gosh. She parked behind the van and jumped out into the crisp, smoke-filled air, and on unsteady legs approached the driver's side door. The window was tinted. She grabbed the door handle. She braced herself for the worst and pulled the handle. The phone fell out along with Colson's arms flopping out, accompanied by a strong smell of smoke. Kyra let out a sob. He was black and blue and covered in dry blood, and his short and the edges of his sleeveless vest showed signs of being burnt. Colston? He didn't move. Kyra pulled herself up onto the runner and said, Cole, come on, babe. She interlaced her finger with his left hand, cold, and the skin of his wrist rubbed raw. She folded his arms up, holding the back of his hand against her chest, and with her other hand felt his beating heart. Then rubbed his feverish face. Colson, please. The sirens were approaching. Kyra released his hand, letting it fall limply, and she held his face. I'm sorry. Please stay with me. Colson lay on the edge of life and death. He was so tired, but he had escaped. He couldn't lay. He couldn't let go. He felt the pull. He felt the pull toward relief. No! He screamed in mind and pulled toward the pain. At the moment, he felt strengthlessness in the pain, unable to force his beaten body to fight on. He heard her calling him, and summoned strength from deep within and pushed toward the cold, the pain, and the fears. All these rushed fully into his body. He took a deep, painful breath. "Babe," Kyra cried. He coughed and did his best to suppress it. She didn't recoil. She just stared, waiting to see his eyes open. Her heart fluttered when his eyes fluttered open. His bright brown eyes have grayed. "Kyra?" His voice was distant. "Yes, I am here." Hold on. "Yes, I am here." She said it gently. Colson lifted his shaky hand to brush her cheek. "You're real?" Though it was a question, there was deep relief within. Kyra saw the relief spread across his body. "Colson," Kyra was crying and fearful. "Help is on its way. You are safe." She softly kissed his cold chapped lips. She watched his eye close. Watched his eye close. That had been the closest to the horror that she'd ever get. She was grateful. They were staring into each other's eyes. Colson is pretty sure that the house no longer stands. I just need to. His words were a bit sharper than intended. Kyra doesn't shy away from the intenseness. Instead, she matched it with concern. Hold on. An air bubble coming up my chest. "Please, you don't need to." Colson's eyes became distant, and he pulled away from her to go to the bathroom. He relieved himself, walked back, and stopped at the threshold. He said slowly, "I need to confront that place." It was a house and not just in my mind. Kyra rushed to him, embraced him. "Honey, it was real. Please believe it was. Only harm will come if you go back, especially right now in your fragile state of mind. I need to face the harsh reality. That was my prison," Colson says. Then added that I can't see. Then added in his mind, "Still my prison." Kyra tightened her embrace, her eyes shut tight as she tries to shy away from the image of seeing Colson black and blue and still in front of that in the front seat of the van. "On one condition." She speaks slowly as she meets those distant eyes. Colson stares, staying silent. As much as he wanted to go, he is beyond terrified. This idea had This idea was suggested by a therapist from time to time over the years to be an effective way of healing. He survived. And what? Colson would always recite in his mind. He fears that when he sees the house or the spot where it was, all the memory might come flooding back all at once, and he might not have the strength to fight through. So why put himself through the torment? He is drowning without the portion that remained locked away. The house might be the key to freeing himself once and for all. What is it? He asked with an unsteady voice. Myself and Jordan go with you. Her statement is unyielding. Colson looked at her, genuinely confused. JD? Other than Kyra and his therapist, Jordan Youngblood is the only other person in his life to have extensive but selected knowledge to what happened. Kyra and Jordan have been his greatest cheerleaders, yet he is failing them with the nightmares and how they still have such an impact. Yes, Jordan, I'll let you know that recently after the nightmares, you have become unreachable for days. I don't want something to happen, and I'm unable to keep you safe. I. Kyra. Kyra said sharply and clearly, with fresh tears, but unable to finish. She hides her face in the chest. Colson had left, listening to his wife cry, and had numbed to the words that were spoken. Stop crying. The intended tone of this phrase is lost as he is in his strangulated throat. This strong display of emotion is irritating to him. The veil of darkness and terror has fallen over his mind, making everything that is safe and calm seem distant. Coulson is normally in his studio when this happens. He fears for Kyra when he's in his state. Kyra, he says. The control to keep his voice steady is to keep his voice as steady as possible and causing him physical pain. I am sorry, but please hold yourself together. He is screaming at himself for speaking this way to her. Kyra felt his body go rigid within her embrace, and it scared her. But she didn't recoil from him. She is praying and hoping that he breaks through whatever he is going through. Coulson, please, fight. This is all that comes to her mind. Her shoulders are gently being pushed, and she allows herself to be pushed away. There is now a tremble in his body. I will try to be better. The words are spoken strained and thickly. As he collapsed to his knees, Kyra looked into his eyes. The bright brown eyes had washed out for a second or two, then are bright once again. What is she seeing? Better? No, Coulson, just let me in. Leave the door ajar so I may peek and see if you are okay. I have no problem leaving you be. Just don't seal the door. She holds his face in her hands, tears streaming and his chin quivers. She leaned in to kiss him and watched his eyes dull again. Terrified that he would fall unconscious, he not only kissed her back, he embraced her, making her heart leap for joy while simultaneously filling it with dread. I'll try, he whispers. They stay in that embrace for a while. For a moment, all is right and safe. The fear of what awaits them in the moment after is causing this one to last. Coulson is exhausted and decides to go back to bed. Kyra, Kyra, though she would love to join him, can't. She can't just lay next to him, listening to him breathing, waiting. Kyra sees and feels the fight. Already this one had a different feel to it. This scares her and she decides she can't do it alone. She leaves the room where Coulson already snoring lightly and go to the kitchen. So that is chapter 1. I apologize for the way it was read. That's really, really hard to read for me. It's not hard in the sense that it's a difficult read, but just I should have done it a lot more upright way. Kept reading, looking down, it hurt my throat. You can hear it. I start to cough and stuff. So the next time I read, I may read from my software, but I wanted to read from the book. It just I'll find another way to read the next chapter when I read the engagement. But it's just so weird to just be able to read from an actual book stuff that you wrote. It makes it so more tangible. It's fun. I just hope you could understand, because I know I kind of taper off, and I know my flaw and I'm working on it, but it's really hard to do because it takes so much out just to focus on that. So I'll get better the more I do it. I know I will. But that's gonna be it for me for this stream. I'm gonna probably go and take a nap. I'm so tired. Um, but yeah, I may put out that bit in a video just by itself. I don't know. I may not. Not sure. But I hope you guys enjoyed listening to the chapter. If you guys could understand it at all, I'm so sorry if you couldn't. But that story means a lot to me, and it would make just to hear feedback on what people think of the book would mean a lot to me. And so the book is still available. It will be available until I release it on Amazon. And the links are, always below the video and streams. It's on Facebook and Twitter. It's pinned in those. And so if you want to read the book in the form it is right now, it's available. The next iteration will have the alternate ending, but most of the book will not change. Just it will have an added ending and added song. So, but that is about it. That's all that will be changing. But I do want to read chapter 9, the engagement. I'll read that at some point. But I've read chapter 1. So that's up and people can go back and listen to it. But I would try to read chapter 9 in a better way. Because looking down is not good. I had to be looking up, but it's really hard to do with a book. So I'll figure out something to read chapter 9 a bit better. But yeah. so that could be it for me. I may stream late tonight Resident Evil. I don't know. It depends if I get some rest and maybe get some more writing done. I don't know. I'll gauge myself. But until then, either late tonight or the weekend, I may stream, or Monday. I don't know. It's up in the air. So I appreciate you guys for hanging out, either on or off stream. It means a lot to me that you guys associate with anything that I do. And I know today was just off the cuff, not really doing much, just talking, writing, and reading. So, but that's stuff that I love dearly, and it makes me feel good and satisfied. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good day, guys.